you with Good Shepherd International Church. It truly is an international church. We have many countries. We have Haiti also represented in our church. And we're very glad that you've come. The handout that I gave to you on the very first sheet, do you see what our slogan is? Can you tell me what our slogan is of the church? Ministering to many nations, exactly right. And that is what our church is. We are ministering to the African refugees that come over by the federal government. Now, I'm dressed like an African today. I always say that I have an American body, but I have an African heart. My heart is with the African people. When they hurt, I hurt. When they're happy, I'm happy. And this shows forth in our ministry with our people. We have 150 people that we're ministering to, and our church services are over 100 of people that gather together. And this is the only thing that they have that is like back home. When they come to America, their world is changed completely. It's an altogether environment difference to them. But when they come to worship, they worship like they do back home. And it is blessed to have that experience. And if you've never experienced worshiping in an African church, you will certainly enjoy it. I've even learned how to dance and sing together. It is blessed. God is there in the midst of our service together. But I would like to introduce our team that's with us today. This is my husband, Lloyd. We've been married 52 years. So there's hope for every one of you. And we become students here at God's Bible School in 1963 through 67. I don't think any of you were even heard of by then. But we were here 50 years ago. We will be coming this fall for our 50th anniversary here at God's Bible School. God has blessed us in our ministry, and we actually were retired. But my husband says we refired and started this ministry. Because we were in our 70s, we really are past retirement age, but God has given us a ministry with these precious people. And the next picture I would like to share with you. Oops. I guess it's not the next picture. I'm sorry. Forgive me. We'll handle it later. I would like to tell you that we are working as a team today. And Jeff, I'd like you to come up here, young man, and give us your full name.
Jeff Zobigeza.
And where are you from, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm from Burundi. It's Central Africa. That's where I was born.
How many years have you been here in America?
16 years.
16 years. And where do you work?
Yeah, right now I work at Community Support. It's a company dealing with people with disabilities.
With disabilities. And he is on our church board. We are very blessed to have Jeff with us today. He'll be talking a little later. I would like the young lady to come. Give us your full name.
My name is Lloyd.
Skeeter, what's your last name?
Hello.
Kalu. And she is from
Kenya.
Kenya, right here. And how many years have you been here?
7 years.
And what brought you to America?
I came to go to school, graduated, working now as a CPA. Did 2 degrees in business and accounting, working for PricewaterhouseCoopers as a CPA.
She did not come as a refugee. She came as a student. But she found us.
I did.
And she found us, and we are just so happy to have her. Skeeter is the one who gives us our English songs every Sunday morning, and she has a beautiful voice. Thank you. Then we have name.
My name is Bethany Probst. My wedding is in 15 days, and so I've been working at Good Shepherd for almost 4 years now, and I'm the director of our youth department. I'm off for a semester, but I've been a student of GBS for the past 5 years, and so I'll talk to you a little bit later about exactly what I do in the church, but I'm happy to be with you guys here today.
Bethany's been an answer to prayer for us. And we have that opening, as you see on the last page of the brochure, is our needs. And we have needs that need to be filled. And I want you to definitely to pray over that, because our ministry is a growing ministry and God is blessing in our ministry.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
For a long time, I ministered, my wife and I ministered to white faces. And now, over the last 10 years, God has opened up a wonderful ministry for us. I wish I had time to tell you the whole story, but I don't. But it's an amazing story. Now, we're ministering to all these wonderful people from Africa. And it's been a real joy. 4 years ago, in January of 2013, after about 6 years of working with these people, God helped us to get a fully organized church as far as the state is concerned, tax numbers, bank account, all those things that go up to make a church. That is as far as a recognized entity. We had a church for a long time, but as far as, you understand what I'm saying. So we have the ability to give ordination to ministers and all the things, the function of a regular church. Now, my wife keeps talking about this thing of retiring. I mean, I don't even know what that means, but she says retire. Well, God has other plans other than retirement. So that's where we are now. And so after 10 years of working with our wonderful people, God has laid it into our hearts over about the past year. We felt it's time for us to put this into the hands of our wonderful people. Of course, we've had an organized board of directors for several years. Jeff is on that, and also Skeeter's on that same board. And so we resigned, not retired. We resigned as like head pastor and turned this ministry over to one of our own men. Couldn't be with us today because he is studying over at CCU. But anyway, he is a wonderful pastor, Pastor Alex Becure and his wife. Been with us in this ministry for a long time. Now, have you, any of you heard of this radio station, 93.3 WATW? Well, that's where we're worshiping on that campground. It's not a campground, but it's kind of a large facility there. But anyway, that's where we're worshiping for the time being. We start our service at 10 o'clock and run till about noon or thereafter. Now, right now, if we were to put all of our people together, who would say Good Shepherd International Church is our church. We have about 150 people, and our attendance runs, lately has been running over 100 every Sunday. And it's a wonderful time that God has given us to worship with these wonderful people. So as we go along in this presentation this morning, we're asking that God may touch your heart. We're excited to be here and trust that the Lord will speak to somebody's heart. This is our third session, and surely out of, they always say, they save the best to the last.
we wanted to put this slide in for you guys, just to give you some names of other people from the college who have worked at Good Shepherd International Church. That way, some of these students are still here, some of them are no longer students here, have graduated, moved on. But if you know some of them, that way you can talk personally with them as well. Christian service class can start to feel entirely overwhelming. You may have came in and thought, I know exactly what I want to do. When I came, I was absolutely certain I was going to work with the jail ministry, and God just was not opening up doors there. And so then I started working with Laurel Homes Kids Club in Inner City, and my second semester, I actually started leading that, but I just happened to be walking past Ahmed's door, and he and David Walker said, Bethany, come on in, I think we have something that might interest you. And I'm so glad he did that, because it was actually having a passion fulfilled. And I thought I knew what I wanted, but God opened up things. And what I love the most about joining Good Shepherd is I was still doing Laurel Homes the entire time as my Christian service, but I was tired of actually just like sitting in a seat, being a pew warmer. I wanted to get involved in a church. Good Shepherd has some incredible opportunities to tap into actually getting involved. Don't wait until you're done with your 4 years here at college to actually get involved in ministries. There's so many places where you can help build the kingdom of God. The other church who's represented here today, get involved. Don't just sit in a pew and expect to be ministered to. Minister to them. So a lot of these people they're different. We've had teacher education people, ministry leaders, or people who are just passionate about the gospel who have gotten involved in our church. You don't have to be called to be a pastor to share the love of God. You don't have to have an actual passion for children to still share the love of God. People need to hear this. People need to connect together as a body of believers, and that's what these people did. They all started with one thing though. They came and visited. And you can't actually tell if a ministry is going to work for you unless you come and visit. So I encourage you, don't just look through a list of ministries and say, oh, I'll pick this one. Go visit them first. And we definitely want you to come and visit ours. Even if you don't feel inevitably called to actually minister in our church, we want you to come visit. If you've had an idea of what church should look like your entire life, this will change your concept of what church looks like. Church isn't a specific structure or a denomination. Church is a body of believers founded in scriptural holiness. So if you know these people, talk with them, and that's why we wanted to put that slide in to just kind of give you some names of people to come and look for, to ask about Good Shepherd.
As I introduced myself, I said part of the Africa. We call the church as a family because we share the norms, we share the concerns. These people has been coming to America as refugees from the war zones, and this government America brought them here to start new life. There's a shock of culture-wise. When you find everything you lost, you find a different way of living. But with the help of the Papa, we put all together, we have to have a service in English first, and then there is always an interpreter in Swahili language. So everybody can come, because it's not only them, but also some Americans come to visit, and the other, like 8 they don't speak as well as Swahili, so we are connected by those languages. So you found when they were coming here, everyone here after you apply for the green cards because they are eligible, and then they become a permanent residents. Then 5 years after they become citizens. So you find there is a lot of celebration when you become a citizen, and they build up their families. The kids, there's a lot of youth going to college, pushing them to college to come to build up new lives. The parents, when you have a driver license, it's something you celebrate. You can drive around a license, then you buy a car. Eventually, then you go forward in life. God blessing you. Then you buy a house. You live from the renting or public housing. They are not good to raise your family wise, but they learn language. But this will they come up. So if you wanna know, learn new culture, new mission, you are welcome. And you will get it once you come in, they be part of it. And if you are African, we love singing. The blood is in the blood. You don't have to use a book. I was saying, the song. You just stand up, somebody stand up and sing. Then you say, my God, what is this? Dancing, shake the body, say, we enjoy God. The blessings from God. People, have a lives. They see. So, really, you are welcome to be part of it and the helping area that we are going to be described.
Thank you, Jeff. His family, he was here for a number of years without his family. He was having a very difficult time getting his family here. It is a miracle of God how his family got here. He has 2 daughters that are in college. Yes, okay. Right here is Mama, and here is Nancy, and where's Winnie?
Down.
Wendy's down here. Well, they're in college. When they come, they were smaller girls, and at Xavier University and at the University of Cincinnati. And we're just blessed to have them, and to hear their stories is beautiful and shows the power of God. Excuse me, I have junior church. I don't know where this is located here.
Youth first.
I think it's
Youth first.
What?
It's youth first.
Oh, sorry.
So we want to go over what our needs are with our church. Every church is going to have a need, and we do too. I'm definitely passionate about this because, of course, I'm the youth director. Our youth group ranges from 12 to 24. And it kind of actually is a little bit of a division there because the older ones are college age ones. How that pretty much more would look like to since you guys are fellow college age people, is more about just creating relationships with them, coming alongside and encouraging them. It can be a little bit of a change coming from Africa here into the American culture, and things back in Africa are different. And so when they come here to the States, the biggest thing I see in our youth group from our young people is they find it confusing that that young people here in America call themselves Christians, but the lifestyle's a little different. So it's a big need is having you guys just come along and actually start building friendships with them. But through that, we have a lot of activities together. Every other Friday night at 6:30, we have a youth night, and it's just youth fellowship. We come together, we eat food, we play some games, and then we just do devotionals and we worship God. Then we get involved in other things. We're so excited because for the past 2 summers, we've been able to get our young people up to Heartland Bible Methodist Youth Camp. And that is like a super big step forward in expanding our youth groups' connection to other young people who are passionate about God. And so we've been able to host some basketball tournaments with other churches here. Our young people love sports. They love basketball. They love soccer. If you guys love sports, come along. Like, some people have actually just come to minister in our church just so they can have that. I don't do sports. I don't play sports. So I can't, as a youth director, I can't help the young men in our ministry because I know nothing about sports. But yeah, to come along maybe at our basketball tournaments, or to get involved in some of our other ministry aspects. We were able last fall to take them to Youth Challenge for the first time, and that was exciting and a slight culture shock for our young people. Definitely the reverse culture shock there, which you guys would be like, whoa, what's going on in this church? But same thing that they experienced. And we've been able to have youth rallies and get them connected with other youth groups. And as I said, my wedding is in 15 days, and this fall, we're working on the transition process of me leaving. But the church and definitely the youth group is still growing, and we're still working on getting a solid foundation under it as I transfer out and as my replacement is trained. And that helps. You may think as young college people, where do I fit in? It helps. Come alongside them. Come get a devotional. Come help, encourage them in worship. Play games with them. Build relationships. They've got the big questions for you in this youth group. But yeah, come alongside. If that is something that interests you, of leading young people, of working with teenage age group, we're interested in having you come along and be a part of that. So talk with us.
Junior church is when the pastor preaches, the children go to another room for their own level of preaching service or studies and singing together. So if you join in the junior church, now this isn't just for the girls, the men can become involved in junior church also. The children need to have an example of adulthood in their life, and we would have you setting in on our regular church service. You would get the experience of the worship service together. Then when he goes to preach, Pastor Alex preaches, we would go to another room for the age group of 4 through 11 years of age. And we do Bible stories, singing songs, and learning the proper concept of behavior is an important issue. We are needing 2 people to help us in this ministry. Like we've said already, the ministry of the youth, we need a director for our youth, we need people to work with our youth. Second, as you know, our back sheet shows you our needs, our junior church. We are needing 2 people to help in the ministry of our junior church. We have probably 15 children in this age group, and they are needing to be instructed. And hopefully God will put this on your heart.
Finally, I'll talk about the nursery ministry that we have. We break that down into 2 categories. So we have the infants and then we have the toddlers. So the infants are basically kids from right when they're born to when they can start walking. And we have, right when you come into the chapel, we have a room where we decorated it and made it look like, it's conducive for kids that age. And basically what happens is the mothers would come into church and drop their kids off there, and we'd have 1 or 2 people, preferably 2 people or more, who would just be there to help with sort of like babysitting the kids when the parents are actually in the sanctuary praying. And it's nice because the parents can step out of the service and come and breastfeed and come and change diapers for their kids. So that's a very nice facility or program that we have going on. So we do have a need for about 2 people to help with that. Right, so the toddler awareness, kids from the ages of 1 to 3, these kids are very active, as you know. So basically, they have a separate room in a different building on campus. They play with toys, and the need there definitely is to have someone who will help with singing, with telling stories, interaction with them as they play. These are kids that have so much energy, and we definitely need to have them contained. And sometimes we enable them to leave and go and play outside after church if the weather permits. And so what would happen is at about 9:45 the parents would come in and drop the kids. So the need here, definitely, we need a team of people who would be able to come in at 9:45 and help set up the toys and help set up the kids as the parents go into the main service. So this particular team will not be in the main service, they'll just be here playing with the kids and ensuring that all goes well with them. So without further ado, do we have any questions from anyone about the ministry? If not, we do have our contact information in the flyers, so please feel free to reach out to us by email or call, and we'll be more than happy to be talking to you. Thank you.
One thing we want you to look at the front here. is our Facebook. We have a very active Facebook. If you'd like to see our ministry in action, the singing, we did have a video, but it didn't quite work up here of our ladies in church singing together. If you would really like to see our church in action, just in your own private time, look at our Facebook, which you have to say, Good Shepherd International Church of Cincinnati, because there's a lot of other Good Shepherd churches, but look to see under photos, and you will see our church in
How
action.
many hits?
Well, usually, we have maybe 400 hits in 1 week, 4,000 hits in 1 week. And you say, how? People in Africa. They get on our Facebook all the time because they want to see their family that's here in America. They'll get to looking. And there's weeks that we have thousands of people that get on, and we try to keep things going on our Facebook for the people back home. Yes.
Yeah, say that Good Shepherd is an international church and has integrated Africa into America. Are there other programs that you have to impact those that have left back in Africa? Do you have other mission programs across Africa?
No, we do not, because our people, as they come, they're refugees, they're very, very needy. We're still meeting their needs. Now, some of the people that come, they'll send money back home. They do an awful lot of that, of sending money back home to the other people, because in their concept, when you come to America, you're going to be rich. But that's not the situation. These people come, they have to get established, and they have to find a job, and they have to pay back the government for their flights coming over. So, I mean, they have some responsibilities that they need. But we do not have a ministry with anybody back there. But we have friends. Some of the ministers from Africa will come and visit with us and preach at our church. We have those connections, you know. And I was working intently with a young man to come from Tanzania, to come here as a student. And we do ministries like that. But to support somebody back home, we don't do that. We don't have the money. We're trying to get us a building of our own that we can call home. And we're raising money for a down payment for a building. So our needs here are so great that we can't expand yet. Maybe in the future we can do that.
Yeah, basically, my question was not on a monetary aspect. I was looking at just a ministry aspect, being a cross-cultural ministry in America. And my mindset was whether that ministry also directly impact other ministry back home, not necessarily giving money to ministry, but in a training aspect and raising up other leaders overseas. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, we have a minister, Kalulu, who is in Tanzania, who does classes and ministry of training. He has been to our church. He has spoke to the youth. He has did couples counseling, ministry with our people. Yes, we do. And I'm a counselor. I do counseling with our people. There's a man from Kenya who graduated from God's Bible School and graduated from CCU, has his master's degree in counseling. He is works with our people in counseling and ministry and classes and being able to train our people. Am I answering your question? I hope so.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Please look over our needs. We need you. God bless you.